Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to Going Vocal. So today we will be discussing the concept of privatization, especially vis-a-vis space exploration and, of course, other sectors of industry too. So on the panel, I have Hemant and Anupam, who you're very well versed with if you've been following our channel. And yes, so today we'll just talk about some of the issues surrounding space, privatization. The main thing is in vis-a-vis space, we've had recently explorations to the moon known as Chandrayaan by India. It has launched some satellites, or I think exploration, what do you call it? Ventures into the moon. And I think there have been others such around Mars as well, called the Mangalyaan, and one with relation to the sun, like some solar mission called Aditya L. So India has taken a number of initiatives in order to explore space, like other nations such as China or the US, and I believe Russia and so on. So I would just like to ask you, what do you think are the benefits? We take a lot of taxpayers' money, a huge investment is happening. What do you think are the benefits of us going to the moon in the first place, or going ahead with space exploration in the first place?
Yeah. So, can I?
Please. Yes.
Yes. So, good morning, and have a good day to both you, Rahul, and Anupam. And nice to be back to people. Yeah. Basically, space, as we know, Russians and Americans, they were the pioneers as far as space exploration was concerned. So it is just the basic idea of doing exploration in space is basically it has got a lot of benefits for human mankind. Geographically and various other ways. For instance, even security-wise, if we launch a satellite in today's highly sensitive situation, it helps a lot, even in controlling the security of the country, and also, as I said, various other aspects as far as forecasting weather and a lot of segments. The exploring of space has become very important, and now we are seeing privatization also happening in India. Very recently, we saw just about 10 days ago, Skyroot, a Hyderabad-based venture company, launching its first satellite into orbit. Space, definitely, I think it's a very big. It is not only for a commercial purpose, but I think for the development of the country in terms of its, as I said again, agriculture. India basically is an agricultural country, so agricultural-based studies, the weather condition forecasting, the connection of the moon, because now we are seeing also a lot of weather changes, climatic changes happening all over the world. You are seeing Europe, where the temperature is now soaring above 40 degrees, whereas in India you are seeing rains in many parts where it is not supposed to rain, or even where it is supposed to rain, the rains have been very heavy. For instance, recently you take the case of Mumbai, where consistently for about 10 days the rains have been happening. So space, definitely the study of space is definitely very much the larger viewpoint as far as venturing into space, and the entry of private players into space is basically to benefit the country. As far as we are talking about benefiting India.
Fantastic.
Elon Musk himself is now, so this is what I would like to say.
Right. So
start this opening.
The question now becomes, we have for so long, especially in India, had an organization known as ISRO, which is a government organization, handles space issues. Now we are discussing privatization here. So what has happened is America experimented with privatization in its space arena, and seems to have achieved some level of success there, which allowed many other nations to attempt the concept as well. So something so strategic as space has now in India also been moved to the private sector in a controlled manner under an organization called InSpace. So InSpace is the government body that regulates and allows private players to participate in the space arena. So the question now is, what do you think, Anupam, about privatization? Now, the experiment was run in the US. We don't know exactly how beneficial it really might be. So, what is your opinion about privatization in a strategic sector such as space? Hemant has already told us how strategic it is with vis-a-vis, you know, checking the weather forecasting and agriculture and large scale, you know, mining perhaps on stars and so on and so forth. So it's strategic, it's research orientated still. What do you think would be the benefits of privatization?
Thank you, Rahul, for the question. Very interesting question because we have seen that, like you previously asked, what benefit is there for a taxpayer that we are having moon mission and everything is going on. But as a taxpayer sitting at home, I think about what is the benefit. A lot of countries are already doing it. Why are we trying to research or reinvent the same wheel again? So the question is, first thing is we have to prove ourselves in space sector as well. And India is global leaders, one of the global leaders in space sector. ISRO has reached a good milestone, considering so many countries in the world. ISRO has done a lot of space research, and it's like the race that we are trying to prove that we are also good. So moon missions and these kind of missions helps us to prove that we have also that kind of advanced technology, because I think space technology is considered as the toughest technology. In fact, if you try to go in the field of study as well for space and all those aeronautical studies, it is considered one of the difficult courses in your curriculum. So if you are trying to do those kind of missions and you prove yourself that we can also land on moon, we can also, recently Chandrayaan had done landing on the south side of the moon, on the south surface of the moon, which is the most difficult thing to do. And India has proved that. And because of this, I think India lands up into a global stage. Not only for this, we also prove that we can also launch other countries' satellites, which is an important factor for many small countries that they do not have their proper space agencies in their own country. So we also can give them this option that if you want, we can also launch your satellites, and that can earn millions or billions of dollars for us in India. So that is one of the important factor, and that is why we have to prove ourselves in the space technology, these kind of moon missions and different missions that are happening with other countries. Russia is also a key player. China has already done it. US has been doing it for quite some time. And with Elon Musk coming into the picture, he has also done a lot of things. And India is proved that we can also do very good things in space and at the budget cost, which is the key factor over here, because NASA has also done it the same manners, different type of missions they have done it, but we have done it at a much lower cost. So that is a good advantage that gives an edge for us, because the small countries which has a low budget for these kind of missions or space missions, so they will have options that should we go to US, should we go to China, Russia, or India is also a player where which we can check. And India is a democratic country, which again give us an added advantage compared to China and Russia, I would say. So because of this, these missions become important. And like you said, why these kind of missions should be privatized? I am not saying fully privatized. It can be mixed or hybrid model, where we can also give space to private players, and also private players along with the government officials can also work together. Because in the private sector, the motive is to earn profits, but we say this is bad for these kind of strategic sectors. But then again, if you have to earn profits, then you have to work well, you have to optimize your resources well, you have to use the right technology to get the things done. And with the collaboration with the government, I think they can share their knowledge to and fro, and that can also help us build good resources and those kind of technology inside the government foundations, space foundations as well. And I am not in support of fully privatization, but it can, I think that should be an option, because The reason being, India's population is growing, so we also have to see that not many jobs are getting created. So private sector can help over there as well. So if we can open up these spaces to private sectors, we can have we can have good number of jobs also coming up along with these sectors. So these are the advantages which I see along with the privatization. But then we also have to be careful that do not open up these kind of sectors too much, or the confidentiality has to be maintained, because in fact everything is going to be controlled from the space, I think, in coming years. Anyway, it's right now as well, but more and more I think coming years it will be a more impactful area where directly through satellites and all those things will be monitored, or maybe will be right now we get our internet through undersea cables. But now I think the future is there with SpaceX coming up, and also I think Geo is also planning to do something where they can directly provide this kind of internet connectivity directly from space. So yes, this is my opinion, Rahul.
Okay. Okay, fantastic, fantastic. So, what do you think are the kinds of jobs that perhaps privatization sector, the privatization can create that were not created by the government sector? Maybe Hemant, do you have any ideas?
Yeah, actually, the thing is, as Anupam rightly said, India is growing. It's a very large country, and we need the job opportunities has to open up, and that will happen only if there is privatization. Of course, with government control also, because government cannot handle everything, isn't it? There are so many things to do with such a large country. So things which can be privatized, why not give it to the private players? So as far as your question regarding creating job opportunities are concerned, yes, definitely, because private entities, the main attraction is salary. Very recently, you must have heard of news where a lot of ISRO employees and scientists have left ISRO and joined private players. In fact, the ex-ISRO chairman Somanath is now the mentor for an upcoming Indian space venture based at Chennai. But of course, this is a very disturbing. I would also like to state that there is a very disturbing. This has been taken. This particular, people jumping from ISRO to private players, both in terms of designation, and also there are people who are taking VRS also. Two disturbing trends are happening in ISRO, mainly because of the salary, and maybe because of more freedom. So in fact, the government is now trying to tighten all that, because all these people who have left, they are all involved in big projects. So, leaving midway through a project is something which is very disturbing, because there's a lot of sensitive information which can get leaked out, isn't it? So as far as your question is concerned, including your answering to your question is concerned, job, mainly salary, that is one thing, lucrative salary, plus of course maybe the freedom of be innovative. Government organizations, I don't know how government organizations are working today. They must have definitely changed from what it was previously. But even then, there'll be a bit of hierarchy and bureaucracy in government organizations. Whereas in a private player, if you join a private player, you can free yourself. You can operate with more ideas and creativity. So there'll be more innovation, and probably a mixture of modern management techniques also. So you are going to definitely job opportunities will be more. Even youngsters, these people, many private players, as we know, they all go scouting for good talents in major institutes. So you are going to see a lot of people, because IT, as you know, is not that lucrative as it was before because of the AI. You're not going to see software jobs as lucrative as it was before. It is going to dwindle. So this is upcoming sector space, and definitely it is going to create opportunities for youngsters, and also for middle-aged people, and even for retired people. Why not? They don't have to sit idle now. They can use their experience in ISRO, because I think ISRO is the only organization as far as the government organization is concerned in space. So using their experience, they can act as a mentor and develop the upcoming private space ventures, isn't it? So,
Right, right.
and also one more thing I want to add: youngsters, as you know, today they are not going to permanently be attached to one company, isn't it? So, working for a venture, say for 3 years or 4 years, if they get something from the US, they are going to jump. So it's an opportunity for them, and maybe they may learn and start another venture. So there are a lot of positives as far as job opportunities are concerned. If
Right,
you
right.
open privatized space sector, yes.
Right, right, right. But what do you think might be the negative effects of having, the private sector participation in such a strategic segment like space? What do you think would be negative? What do you think are the problems that we can face?
Okay, as far as I can answer, I think on this, I think one of the key things which can impact is the security, because these are the strategy things. So if the things can leak to different countries and maybe different, we have seen it many times that many good scientists are being kidnapped by various countries
Right,
to
right.
get benefit out of them, to know their strategy, how things are getting developed by India, and these things can be, if not secured well, I think that it can be a problem, and this is one of the key problems which can happen in case we are going for the privatization. Then again, people will also find it difficult because many people want that these kind of things should remain with the government, and because of the government jobs and different kind of security is there. You see, the job security is very well good in the private in the government sector, but in private sectors you have to be on your toes and those kind of things. Although people are working nowadays in India in government sector also, there's a huge pressure, but still the pressure is not as much as like in private sector. You have to prove yourself. If there is a new technology that is coming up, maybe AI is coming up in IT sector, you have to learn those technology faster. If not, then you'll be kicked out or you'll be lag behind and you might not be relevant in the coming years. So these kind of things do not have too much impact in the government sector, so I would say, because they know they will get retired by 60 years, whatever they are doing, even if they are not able to perform well, still they will be have a secure job. They will have their accommodation and the salaries coming on. So this, because of these kind of things, people will always fight for their rights against these kind of jobs which are coming up. But I think yes, fully, I think time is to go hybrid. I was like as already said, my vote is for hybrid, not for fully privatization on these sectors.
Not for full privatization. Yeah, I also think that perhaps privatization, the motives of many of these private companies is pure profit, whereas government organizations have a national objectives with them as well. So long-term research and long-term, what do you say,
R&D and
discovery, long-term benefits for people that might not even be at a profitable scale is something that the government sector can help with, whereas the private sector is stakeholder profits,
yes,
and that too, its vision is much shorter. Rather than when a national organizations that are connected to the national objectives have a longer term vision, which has proved to be very crucial for the development of nations and the development of new technologies and things of that sort.
so like
All right. So yes, guys.
I have one more example of IRCTC, which is kind of now privately run by which is a separate firm from the railways, Indian Railways, but it's in
Okay.
working in close collaboration with the Indian Railways. So, and now, but the situation has really improved. The services in the trains, if you see, are now good. And if you want to complain, you can tweet it, and then you can, within seconds, you receive your feedback, and then people come and understand your problems during your journey as well. So, I've experienced it myself.
Right, right,
Yeah, so those kind of things
right.
are going
Are
well
there.
if you try to
Right,
have a
right.
good collaboration with the private sector along with the government governance, I would say.
Right, right, right. Are you aware of who owns this? Who owns this company now? Like, who are the? Are you saying that it is a hybrid company? Is IRCTC that you a hybrid company?
IRCT
Because
is
I'm
a
unaware.
yeah, IRCTC is a company which gives the services to railways, like the catering services. Plus, if
Right, right.
you travel from some AC2 or AC3 coach or even AC1 coaches, you get bedrolls and those were bed
Mhm.
sheets and pillows and all those things. Everything is done by IRCTC now, so they take care of these
Okay, all
things.
right, all
So if
right.
you find any
Okay.
stain or you feel that the bed sheet is not properly washed or something is there, you have directly have the numbers or you can do it directly. At the next station itself, it will be cleaned or else you will be given a new set of your bed sheets and so that you can sleep well on those things. And even if the coach is not clean, you directly have the numbers. You can directly call them, and they will at the next station
Okay.
will clean it for you.
All right. All right.
Those kind of
Okay.
things are
Okay.
happening.
And they probably make a profit from a percentage of the ticket, is it? Or do you pay for them directly? I mean, with terms of food, I guess you pay them directly, isn't it?
No,
But
foods,
when it comes,
food, yes, you can pay them directly also, but sometimes in tickets also food is included. So the ticket price goes to the
okay,
government and the food prices along with the extra services that the ICTC is providing. That benefit also goes
goes
to
to
the directly to ICTC. Yes.
okay, all right, all right, okay, fantastic. So we can see from that that there are some benefits to privatization: efficiency, effectiveness, perhaps a quick responsiveness that we don't see with the government, because the government is always highly bureaucratic and very difficult to deal with, isn't it? Many of us who go to government bureaucracies in to get our things done, we find it very difficult, and we find corruption practices and inefficiency. But at the same time, they have certain national objectives which set them apart from the private players and make them better for long-term vision, long-term innovation. I really doubt private players usually are better off with short-term innovation, isn't it? They invent quickly. I'm very good at inventing, but for short-term profit objectives, whereas government can invent for looking into a long-term perspective. I think one of the best examples of this is during the Renaissance. The Renaissance is a period in European history in which a lot of changes happened. The church lost a lot of power over government. The government began to build, science. It started off with the arts, then it moved into science, philosophy, science, and thinking out of the box, basically. And I think that period, inspired by the Chinese wall, the Great Wall of China, which took many, many years. Took a number of centuries to build the Great Wall of China. So, in the same way, they took about 2 centuries to build the chapel. I forget the very important, prominent chapel in Italy. I forget the name of the chapel now. But anyway, those years, it took about 2 centuries for them to build that chapel. And that inspired the coming in of out of the box thinking that built the world of science we have today over the centuries. So the centuries thinking is a government-based innovation, and I think it's something the government and national objectives are what construct that. And I think immediate innovation for profit is where private players do well, and they bring in efficiencies regarding that as well. So I think today we will end our podcast, and it was a lovely time having you guys and a lot of information from your minds. So yes, have a good day, guys. And to our viewers, please do
Yeah.
subscribe, and we'll see you for the next podcast.
Thank you.
Take
Thank
care,
you.
guys.
Right.